So today we're going to be finding how to find the average rate of change of a function over the given interval. And this is something that's very important in pre-calculus and is pretty foundational for calculus. So it's definitely something you want to know. But it's very simple. And the way it works is we're just finding the slope of the secant line between a given interval. Our interval here is -2 to -7/4. So plotting those out here, it's roughly about there. And what a secant line is just the smallest line that you can form, a straight line between those 2 points. And it's going to be crossing some part of the graph, or not crossing it, but it's going to be passing through something. And it's just connecting those two points. And we just want to find that slope. So it's relatively simple. So the way you want to go about doing this is you want to use the equation here, f of b minus f of a over b minus a. F of b minus f of a over b minus a. And what f of b and f of a are is just the y coordinates of 2 given points. So f of b in this case is the y coordinate of whatever it is, but it's where x is -7/4, and then f of a is the y coordinate of the point where x is -2, and then b and a are those 2 points. So b is -7/4, and a is -2. So it comes down to very simple algebra, and we're just going to be plugging in those numbers into that equation we're given here. So let's start with the -2. You're going to get -2 squared plus -2 minus 1, which comes out to 4 minus 2 minus 1, which is 1. So let's write down here, f of -2 is 1. Now the next one, f of -7/4, is a little more complicated because we're working at fractions, so there's a little bit of simplifying to do. But it follows the same idea. And you just put it back into the equation, pretty simple. -1, and here we just want to simplify. So for the -7/4 squared, that's going to be 49/16 minus 7/4 minus 1. And we want to have everything in the common denominator. So we're going to multiply 7/4 as, we're just rewriting it really as a multiple of, or the denominator needs to be 16. So to do that, we have to multiply the denominator by 16, and therefore also the numerator. So that's going to be rewriting the first term here. 7 times 4 is 28, and then 4 times 4 is 16. And then the 1, since it's 1, you just rewrite it as 16/16, that equals 1. That's something you should just generally know. Whenever the numerator matches the denominator, it's 1 or -1, depending if you have a negative or not. In this case, I do. So this is going to come out to 5/16. And so let's write that down here. And at this point, you have all the information you need. So we're just going to plug it back into this equation where we're going to do f of -7/4, because that's our b, minus f of -2, that's our a. And then -7/4 minus -2. And this is going to come out, we have the top, we have the f of -7/4, and then we also have the quantity for f of -2. So let's just rewrite that as that minus that. And then the numerator, just simplify it, but it is going to be this plus 2. And so let's do the numerator first. Again, remembering that we can rewrite 1 as 16/16. You're really just subtracting 5/16 minus 16/16, which is -11/16. So that's our numerator. The denominator, we can rewrite 2 as 8/4, using that same logic. And so you're going to get 1 over 4. Now, here there's one trick that you have to use, which makes dividing fractions extremely easy. We're just going to take the numerator and multiply it by the reciprocal, meaning we're flipping the fraction, and we're just multiplying it by that numerator, right? So here you're going to get negative 44 over 16. And we can simplify this. We divide it by 4, and then we get negative 11 over 4, and that's the average rate of change of this graph at these given intervals.